Say what you will about Russell Westbrook, but few players in NBA history have played with as much ferocity and as much energy as Russ. It's somewhat surprising to learn that he's only listed at 6'3" because Westbrook plays with the conviction and dominance of someone 5 inches taller. All in all, you'll be hard-pressed to find a point guard in NBA history as athletic as him. And today we're going to find out just how he maintains that athleticism because we're talking about Russell Westbrook's insane diet and workout. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that bell and like button below so you can get notified when we put out new content. Without further ado, let's talk about Brody. Now, there was a day when a point guard didn't have to be athletic. A point guard's job for much of the NBA's past was to set up the offense and feed the players around him. But nowadays, you may notice that point guards are the offense, and many teams' priority is to get the point guard open. Well, Westbrook is actually one of those guards who has created this shift over the years. Coming out of UCLA, Russ seemed more like a shooting guard, mostly because of his physical profile. Fast, shredded, and able to jump out of a building. But alas, he took the point guard helm in OKC, and ever since, he's reshaped what we think a point guard has to be. So let's get into how Russ has been able to shape himself into the category of freakish athlete. So it shouldn't be a surprise that Russ takes great care of his body as far as nutrition is concerned. And when it comes down to his diet, he and his trainer break it down into a science, especially when it comes to carbohydrates. Because Russ is such a high-intensity player who doesn't know how to give any less than 100%, he needs his carbs to keep his energy and renowned stamina throughout the game. But at the same time, he can't risk over-consuming carbs and jeopardizing his lean and quick physique. So, it's all about timing. Throughout the day, Russ will have carbs in his breakfast to get him going, and then right before a workout, he'll carb up again, as well as shortly after the workout. This way, he's able to maximize his energy for these workouts and games, but by timing this right before and after exerting that much energy from the body, he ensures that he doesn't store any body fat that might come from the carbs. Not only does he closely monitor his carb intake, but he makes it a habit to make sure he's consuming plenty of antioxidants. Recovery is another incredibly important focus of his, as his style of play means he needs more ample amounts of it after games and workouts, because if his body starts to break down over time, his playstyle goes right out the window. So along with a post-workout protein shake, Westbrook also tries to fit in as many natural antioxidants as he can throughout the day, like goji berries, green tea, and turmeric into anything he can. So now that we have an understanding on the key things Russ focuses on, let's get into his meals throughout the day. To start off the day, Russ goes big, eating a whopping 7 egg whites, 1 whole egg, 2 tablespoons of cottage cheese, 2 ounces of brown rice, a handful of goji berries, and 2 all-natural testosterone boosters, which are of course legal by NBA standards. Just by his breakfast, you can tell Westbrook is about to go hard on his workouts later on, loading up heavy in the beginning of the day. You also start to see the trend of his specifically measured out portions, showing just how much thought goes into these meals. So come lunchtime, Russ gets his first big protein of the day, eating 5 ounces of chicken breast, 5 ounces of sweet potato, 2 cups of veggies with only 1 teaspoon of olive oil. Now we're only at meal 2 of 6 throughout the day. Westbrook goes so hard during workouts that he needs another meal right after, usually going for 4 to 6 ounces of ground turkey, which is ultra lean compared to beef, some more brown rice, an avocado, 1 cup of green beans, and 1 cup of broccoli. Now his next meal isn't huge, but it's vital for his diet, as he goes for a scoop of whey protein and a handful of raw almonds, both very high in protein. Once dinner time rolls around, Russ actually opts for a smaller meal than you would imagine, just eating 5 ounces of grilled salmon and a cup and a half of steamed veggies. Finally, Russ finishes his day with a snack, getting his testosterone in before bed with cottage cheese, casein protein, almond butter, and stevia extract, all blended up, plus a few of those testosterone boosters. And while Westbrook's energy and recovery ability has a lot to do with his diet, his body, speed, and strength is all thanks to a legendary workout habit by the former MVP. But for a long time, Westbrook kept his workouts somewhat of a secret. All anybody knew, including his teammates, was that he was always the first one out there. Apparently, the reason his teammates weren't even aware of his routine was because he was already exiting the weight room after a full workout before the next guy even walked in. The same is true for pregame workouts. While his teammates are getting dressed in the locker room, Russ is already out on the court getting shots up. And now that he hasn't been so reluctant to share his workout plan, Russ seems to be even more superhuman as he goes nuts in the weight room doing both difficult and elevated simple exercises. For instance, during the offseason, Mondays and Saturdays are push-ups and pull days where Westbrook does push-ups and pull-ups. But alas, he's Brody, so he makes these normal workouts incredibly difficult by adding weight to each. If he's doing push-ups, he'll add a weighted plate to it and do more reps than the average person would do without it. He'll add a weight to his pull-ups too, sometimes holding a dumbbell between his feet in order to add weight and work on his focus. Then he'll elevate the dumbbell snatch by simultaneously doing a single arm cable row, effectively doing 2 different workouts at once, forcing him to focus on balance while still building muscle. Then on Tuesdays and Sundays, Russ performs a series of compound exercises looking to strengthen his body as a whole with a combination of different workouts. Usually he picks 5 out of a list of 11, which includes workouts like barbell incline bench presses or front squats, DB walking lunges, standing barbell rows, weighted wide grip pull-ups, barbell shrugs or power snatches, stiff leg deadlifts, and more. It almost seems like Russ is working out on a deadline and he's got to work all of his muscle groups quickly or else. But the truth is he's in the gym so much he's trying to optimize his time and cover every single base he can. And with the difficulty of some of these workouts, he's not just testing his physical strength, but his mental as well. And then of course, you can't miss leg day, so on Wednesday, Westbrook is working hard on his explosiveness. Mainly he does a set of single leg kettlebell squats, DB squat jumps, and side lunges with explosive foot swings, weighted jump rope superset with box jumps, speed parachute springs with quick feet karaoke, and then he finishes it off with full court sprints with a single leg weighted jump rope between each sets. I mean, this is the stuff that will exhaust the average Joe, but Russ is anything but average. And the results of these are seen on countless highlight reels of him blowing by defenders and throwing down some of the nastiest dunks you'll ever see a point guard do. So while he's been blessed with some natural athleticism, nobody could say that he doesn't put the work in. And with that work comes some of the most gifted athleticism this league has ever seen. In fact, Westbrook has been working hard on his body for so long, UCLA strength and conditioning coach Wes Long recalled that he's only ever seen Westbrook gassed once, after he ran a progressive succession of ladder sprints, and that was all after his teammates had already long tapped out after the drill. Say what you will about Russ's game on the court, but you'll be hard-pressed to find someone who outworks him off of it. That's it for today. Do you think you could do the Russell Westbrook diet and workout? Make sure to hit that like button and bell below so you can stay notified every time we put out new content, but most importantly, have an awesome day.